Hello guys, welcome back to Python test driven development. Thank you so much for coming back. In the last video, we finally started mocking our code and we finished up our get relationship methods. In this video, we are going to complete all the methods for our member class and we're going to start our next steps on creating integration tests and finally having a look at the family tree class. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is where we left off, guys. We tested all of our relationship methods and we are now left with get relationship. By the way, before um, starting I mean before doing anything else, I just want to let you guys know that I made a commit, and the commit is added test for relationship methods, added relationship methods, right? Those two things. So we are going to complete our member class methods, and the only thing that's remaining is get relationship, which takes in a relationship type, and based on the relationship type it calls any one of these relationship methods, right? So let us do that. So guys, we don't really need to discuss much on the functionality of get relationship. How it works is basically, I already told you guys, we need to give it a relationship type and it calls any one of these methods. So what we are going to do is we are going to patch each of these get relationship methods, right? And then we are just going to make sure that based on the relationship type the correct method gets called, right? We're not going to make the actual call. We are going to mock these methods out, and we'll just test it with mock assert called with, right? So let us do that. So the first thing that we need to do is patch all of these methods. So right, this is going to be a long patch statement, so we're going to call this test get relationship, and we're going to have how many, that's a lot of methods. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 methods, guys. So we're going to have 9 patch statements. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yep. And all of them are going to have family tree dot member dot member. This is going to be common for all of them. 3 4 5, sorry, that's 6 7 8 9, right? Now we're going to get these as inputs, I mean parameters. So let me tell you guys, the first mock will be the first argument. The argument. The second mock will be the next argument, and so on, right? So let's just start creating our mocks. So let's go in order, guys. Let us start with get paternal aunt and get paternal uncle. So we're going to just type in get paternal aunt, get paternal uncle. Similarly, get maternal aunt, get maternal uncle. Let's say brother in law, sister in law. So just a reminder, mock moves from bottom to top, right? Just letting you guys know that. Brother-in-law, sister-in-law, then we have son, daughter, and then siblings, right? So the first mock that we're going to get is mock get paternal aunt. Then we're going to get mock get paternal uncle. For that, we're just going to move over here, get maternal aunt, get, sorry, it's going to be called mock You can name it whatever you want, guys. I just like to go with the convention. Get maternal uncle. Then we have mock get brother in law, mock get sister. Sorry, this is get. I just forgot to add get in front of them. Get, right? So I hope these are get siblings, right? These are get siblings. Mock get sister in law. Then we have mock get son, mock get daughter, and finally mock get siblings, right? So let us just call the get relationship method with the relationship type, and the first relationship type is going to be paternal aunt, right? So in this case, mock get paternal aunt will be called, because we're not actually making the call. It's going to be called with this. Then self dot member dot get relationship. I think you see the pattern here already. Paternal uncle, and mock get paternal uncle dot assert called with is going to be called. Similarly, now what guys, I'm just going to copy this thing out. Paste, 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 paste. That's 7, 8, and 9. Right. So here we're going to have maternal aunt, and then we're going to have maternal uncle. Then we're going to have brother in law. Then sister in law, and then we'll have son, daughter, and finally we're going to have siblings, right? So in all of this, mock get maternal aunt dot assert called with, I'm just going to copy the assert called with part as well. So in this case, mock get maternal uncle. Here mock get brother-in-law. Here mock get sister-in-law. Mock get son. Mock get daughter. Then mock get siblings, right? So now we are going to have to pass these test cases. Oh, okay, I forgot to add a comma over here. So let's create the get relationship method real quick. Get relationship. So it is get relationship. Yeah. So the get relationship takes in relationship type, right? And now what we're going to do is, guys, since Python does not have a switch statement, we use dictionaries. And how do we do that? We say relationship method, and we're going to create a dictionary, and let's look at all the relationship values that we get. So these are all the values, right? So let us create that real quick, and we're going to say paternal aunt, paternal uncle, Bear with me guys, I'm gonna fix that real soon. Maternal aunt, maternal uncle, and then we have brother in law, sister in law, then we have son, daughter, and then siblings, right? So now what are the values going to be? So for paternal aunt, it's pretty simple, right? Get paternal aunt is going to be the, so bear in mind we're not executing these here, we're just getting the method address. So what we're going to do is, based on the relationship type, we're going to switch, we're going to get the method to execute. So relationship, we're going to call this relationship method switch. Relationship method is going to be relationship method switch dot get. By the way guys, if you don't know what get does, let me show it to you real quick if you don't know that is. So let me create a dictionary real quick. I'm going to call it X, and it will have A1 and B1, right? So how we usually access dictionary is X of A gives us 1, X of B gives us 1, but X of C gives us a key error because C does not exist, right? So to solve this problem, instead of getting key errors, we can get set our own default values. So how we can do that is use the get method. So x dot get A gives us 1, x dot get B gives us 1, x dot C does not give us anything, right, because it does not exist, but this time we don't get a key error. So what we can do is, when we return x so instead of x dot get A, what we can do is x dot get A comma 1, which I mean 2, sorry, let's be a little different. So it gives us 1 because A exists, we get 1 again because B exists, and in case of C, which does not exist, we get 2, right? We should ideally get none, but since we've set the default value over here, we get 2. So that's how get works, right, in dictionaries. So that's what we are going to use here, because we might get a key error. In case we pass some gibberish relationship type, we might get a key error. So that's what we're going to do. So instead of so in case of get relationship type, if we don't get anything, we return a none. So if not relation, I mean if relationship method is not none, that is if relationship method, we return relationship method and we execute the relationship method, right? That will give us the actual value. Otherwise we're going to return none, or better yet, we're going to return an empty list, right? Because the we get list values. So let me just fill this up real quick. Paternal uncle, get maternal uncle, brother in law, sister in law, self dot get son, self dot get daughter, then self dot get siblings, right? So one more thing that I forgot to add in our test is, what if we give it a invalid value, right? Suppose say get relationship, and we're just going to pass in some invalid relation, and in this case we should get a null value, I mean an empty list. right? So now let us try passing our tests, and it is python -m unit test discover -s, which gives us the location, unit -p test underscore star dot py. So here, oh okay, that's incorrect. Relationship method switch is the method. Now all of our tests pass, guys. So we have officially completed our methods for member class, and now we are finally going to write our first integration test. So it is considered best practice to write integration and unit at the same time, because usually what happens is when you are working on this feature, you will write unit tests for this feature as well as integration tests for this feature, and chances are that someone else is working on some other feature, right? So the other person is going to take care of the tests for the other feature, which, and in our case the other feature is family tree, right? I mean, it's yeah, it's, let us just consider that to be another feature. So what we are going to do is we're going to pretend that somebody else is writing that part of code for us, and we will write the integration tests here for the member class, right? So member.py. Now hopefully guys, I mean, not hopefully, you guys will start to see the main difference between an integration test and a unit test, right? So from unit test, import test case, and in this test we are not going to import mock at all, because if you've guessed it already, mocks are not used in unit test, I mean integration test. In unit test we check the flow of code, more or less. We check if values are returned to us correctly, and based on some, I mean, we don't check for values. What we do is, provided the values that we want, the flow of code should go as planned. That is what a unit test does. Whereas in integration test, we check for the actual values, as in we actually pass some values and we check the expected values. So we will be seeing a lot of assert statements here, right? So from family tree dot member import, sorry about that, from family tree dot member import member comma gender. These are the two things. So here test member, so if I remember, that's what we called our main test class. So yeah, it was test member. So here we don't really need to mock anything out. We are going to go all out on these test cases. So guys, the first thing that we need to do is set up, and in the setup we are going to create our member, right? And the member is going to be a valid member. Let us give it the ID of one zim male, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to create other members as well in the setup itself. So let us create the mother for this member, and the mother is going to be member 2 mother female. And the integration test is going to be real quick, guys. We don't really, there's not much tricky stuff here, although we might encounter errors, which is always a surprise for us for some reason, I don't know why. And now what we're going to do is, since we'll be testing aunts and uncles as well, we are going to create our, mother's siblings. So let us create mother's sister 1. Let's just call her A. Each member is going to have, like, so she's going to be our aunt, right? Aunt A, she'll be a female. Self dot mother's sister B, she's again going to be a member, and she's going to be aunt B. Similarly, let us create 2 of our mother's brother A, member 6 uncle A. Okay, let's just call her maternal aunt and maternal aunt B. Maternal uncle A, male. Send out mother brother B, which is member 7 maternal uncle B, right, who is also going to be a male. Now we are going to do the same for paternal fathers. Let's stick to the convention. Father's sister A, father's sister B, father's brother A, father's brother B, self dot, and then we're going to have, now that we've covered the aunts and uncles, we need to create spouse as well. It's going to be our spouse. So now to get our in-laws, we will not get our in-laws. What we'll do is we'll use this spouse and get the spouse's in-laws, basically our brothers and sisters, right? Aunt A, A, female, female, male, could be male again, and then spouse is going to be 12 and she's going to be wife and she'll be a female, of course. And now what we'll do is we need siblings, right? So let's create 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and let us create 2 sons and 2 daughters. Apologies for my slow typing, guys. So this is going to be brother A, who's a male, then brother B, who's also going to be a male, she'll be sister A, who's a female, sister B, who is again a female, son A, who's a male, son B, who is also a male, then daughter A, so female, and daughter B, who is again female. So these are all of the members that we're going to test, guys. And now what we will do is we are going to test setters and then we are going to test getters. I mean, these are not really setters and getters, we just like to call them that. So what we will do is set test set methods. So what we will do is we're going to set all the values and we're going to test each value separately, right? So first of all, self.member dot set mother. Set mother will take in self.mother, right? Then self.member.set father is going to take in self.father. Now that we have our mother and father, what we need to do is add our siblings. So our siblings are basically children of our mother and father. So what we are going to do is self.father.add child, self. We have two brothers and two sisters. Brother A, brother B. Similarly, we have sister A, then sister B. Sorry about that, sister B. So now we have, wait, let me adding our parents, adding our siblings, right? So along with father, we are also going to have to add the children to our mother, right? So we added our siblings. So now that we have siblings, what's the next thing? Our spouse. Add spouse, self.member dot set spouse is going to be self.spouse. Sorry, it's not going to be, it's going to be a method. Then what next? We are going to have to add sons and daughters. Since now guys, one more thing is our we also need to have a grandmother, because we are going to have to add aunts and uncles as well. So for that, what we are going to do is, let us set this up. So let us have one grandmother who is going to be our father's mom, and our mother is going to be married into the family. Okay, so grandmother is going to be, she should actually be the first member, but she'll be the last member. So now adding our paternal and maternal aunt slash uncles, right? So for that, what we are going to have to do is self dot father dot set mother is going to be dot grandmother. Here we're going to have to call her grandmother, right? Now what we're going to do is self dot, oh right, so we need our mom's side as well. So this is going to be paternal grandmother. Let's call her paternal grandmother. And we're also going to have self dot maternal grandmother. I don't know why I keep doing that, guys. So she's going to be 22 maternal grandmother, right? So let's just first add our paternal aunts and uncles, paternal grandmother. So our self dot, okay, 1 second, self dot paternal grandmother dot add child. We're going to add 4 children, brother A, brother, father's sister AB and father's brother AB. Father's sister A. Similarly, and our father is will be added as well. Father's brother A and father's brother B. Father's sister A, father's sister B, and of course, oh sorry, these are going to be self, by the way, guys. And then we're going to add self dot father as well, right? So father dot set mother, self dot paternal grandmother. So now our father has a grandmother, and our father is also the child of our grandmother. So with that, our paternal side is all good. So we're going to add our maternal aunt and uncle. So it's going to be the same thing, except this will change to maternal. This is going to be mother, right? And this will be father's sister A. This is going to be mother's sister A. This will be mother's sister B. Mother's brother A. Mother's brother B. Right? And our mother is also going to be her child, and this is going to be her mother as well. So now parents, siblings, spouse, and now we need to add, since our siblings have been added, now we need to add our children, adding our sons and daughters. Right? So we're going to have our sons and daughters added. Self dot member dot add child, self dot son A, and we're going to have 4 children. A, and then daughter B. Sorry, that's B. So now that we have set up, it's time for us to test our what do I say? The values, basically. So if the setter method worked properly, then first what we are going to do is we added our parents. So we are going to check our parents, test parents, right? Self dot assert equal self dot member dot mother dot name should be equal to mother, and self dot assert equal self dot, okay, let's just do that, member dot father dot name should be. By the way, guys, we forgot to add ourselves as our father's children and our mother's, I mean not children, mother's child as well. Because we are ourselves the child of our mom. Also, what we are going to check is, yeah, we should be part of our father's child, fathers and mother's children. So self dot member dot father dot children. One second, I just want to test something quickly. I haven't used this in a long time. A in B C false, right? This works. What about if I add A? Yeah, it's true. So self dot member in this should give us true, and self dot assert equal self dot member in self dot member dot mother dot children should be true, right? So first of all, let's at least test this one out. So our unit tests are passing, so it's time for our integration test. Integration test member object has no attribute mother's brother A. So where did I use mother's brother A? So it's mother brother A. Let's call them mother's brother A. No attribute mother brother B. Where did I use mother brother B? Yep. So our parents have been successfully added. Now what we're going to do is we're going to test our siblings, right? So since we are already included in our parents children, we need to also make sure that our siblings we have, so we need to make sure that we have 4 siblings in total, right? So how we usually test siblings is we don't care about father but we care about mother in this, because we usually add children through the mother, right? So what we are going to do is first of all self dot so we are not going to use get siblings, but guys, actually we can use get siblings to test if things are alright. These are set methods, so we are just going to set the methods. We are just going to test if the set values are working properly or not. So okay, so the siblings are usually self dot member dot mother, and her children should have a length of 5. Have a length of 5 and cert equal self dot brother A in self dot member dot mother dot children, right? Should give us true. So we have brother B as well, sister A, then we have sister B. So all of these should be part of our mom's children, and similarly all of them should be part of our dad's children as well. And the length of our father's children should also be 5, right? Let's do that. Yep, thing is working fine. So the next thing that we added was spouse, right? So for test spouse it is pretty easy. Test spouse, we're just going to test the name for spouse. Spouse dot name should be equal to wife, right? So let us test that. Yep, passing. So let us just test if what if we just called her something else. We would have gotten an error, right? Yep, correct. So that is proof that things are working properly. So after spouse, we've added our paternal aunts and our paternal uncles. So how do we test if our paternal aunts and uncles are been correctly added? So for that, we're not going to test our siblings, but rather our parents' siblings. So here is going to be mother's children, grandmother children. Here as well, we're going to have father dot mother children, right? This way we will get to know if our values are set for paternal aunts and uncles properly or not. So instead of brother A and brother B, it's going to be mother's brother. So here we're just going to add mother's mothers. Sorry about that. Mother's brother B, mother's sister A, mother's sister B. Now here we're going to say father's brother B, father's sister A, and father's sister B, right? Also, our mother is going to be part of the of our grandmother's child, right? So let us have a look at this test, and yep, these pass as well. So now that we have our paternal and maternal aunts, the final remaining thing is our children, right? So children sort equal length of self dot children, self dot member dot children is going to be we have two sons and two daughters, right? So length is going to be 4. Yep, that's correct. And we're going to see assert equal self dot son in son A in self dot member dot children should return true. Similarly, we're going to have 4 more of these. Sorry about that. We're just going to say son B, daughter A, and then daughter B, right? These are supposed to be part of our children. Test member object has no attribute daughter. Okay, I must have. Alright, it's supposed to be daughter B. So now, yep, our test pass. You see, guys, integration test is really about testing values. So now we test our get relationship methods. So def test get relationship methods. These are going to be, first off, we're going to check the value for get paternal aunt. Hmm. So in our unit test, what we did was basically for paternal aunts and uncles, we just checked if, yep, so we are getting objects over here. Yep. So let us do our self dot get relationship, and let us look at the values for paternal aunt, and let us see what we are going to get. Actually better, we're going to test for length, and we're supposed to have how many paternal aunts? Two paternal aunts, two paternal uncles, similarly two maternal uncles and two maternal aunts, right? So let us check these out. No attribute get relationship. Is it get relationship or get relationships? It is get relationship. What's wrong? Oh, sorry, it's member dot get relationship. My bad, guys. Member dot get relationship. Assertion 0 not equals to 2. So how is it that dot paternal aunt? So if I'm correct, paternal aunt is supposed to call get paternal aunt. Hmm. Paternal grandmother. So our father had. So guys, when in doubt, always use PDB. We are going to check if our grandmother has been set properly or not. So we are going to say self dot member dot father is none. Why is that? So if I remember correctly, self dot member dot father dot name was dad. So how is it that self dot this is weird. Let me just print this out, guys, because as per our test, we do have a father and we should have. This is weird, guys. Either we're going to just, okay guys, what we're going to do is we're going to move these over to the set method itself, setup method. Let us now check if our values have been set correctly or not. Sorry about that. So let me remove that PDB real quick for now. Let me just comment that out. So as you can see guys, our tests are passing. This is because self.member has to be set in the setup method itself. Whatever set in test methods will stay within the test methods. So we have two maternal aunts, two maternal uncles, and we have, now let's do the same for get siblings. We're supposed to have 4 siblings, not including ourselves, right? And then we're supposed to four siblings. Sorry, this is siblings. Oh, sorry. Let's get relationship. So you see, guys, within get relationship, a lot of methods have been called. But in integration test, we don't really care what underlying methods have been called. We just care about the results, right? So in member class, there were only two major functionalities, and those were get relationships and set methods. So we have 4 siblings over here, and since we have yep, we had, so what are the other, we had paternal, maternal, aunt, uncle, and we had siblings. Now we go to brother-in-law, sister-in-law, son and daughter. So first of all, let us check for son. We'll have 2 sons. We'll have 2 daughters, right? And as for brother-in-law and sister-in-law, we're not going to check for member, we're going to check for spouse, and we're going to say, since we have 4, we have 4 siblings, and wait a minute, we have 4 siblings, yeah, so she should have 2 brother-in-laws and 2 sister-in-laws, right? Let us quickly check that. And 0 brother-in-law self.spouse.get relationship. What if we call her self.member.spouse? Because obviously member.spouse will have the brother-in-law, and that gives us negative. And we do have a test over here for self.member.spouse.name. So what really happens in brother-in-law is self.get brother-in-law. So we're going to call her brother-in-law, and she'll get our mother. So okay guys, one more time, once again, we're going to use our trusty PDB. We're going to call in pdb.setTrace, and then let us do that real quick. Self.member.spouse is a member, and get spouse mother. What does this return? Why does this return false? Because let us check this out real quick. So let's go. And guys, we forgot one important thing. That is the reason. So when we say set spouse, we need to add our spouse set dot spouse dot set spouse ourselves, right? We need to do that here as well. So now this would work most probably. We shouldn't have any problems. Let us quickly check that out. That's it, guys. So our integration tests are working, right? We get all the values properly. We don't really want to go and inside each value and test each value separately. I mean, test if each value is present in the list or not. So we'll leave that out. For now, our integration tests are working properly, and we're just going to look at the status. We're going let us look at the diff over here, member.py, and we added a new method. Let us look at the diff for our test members, and we just added our get relationship methods, and we have an untracked integration test. So everything is good to go. We're going to add all of them, and we're going to make a commit. We're going to say finished up member class with unit tests added integration test for member class. So let us push that, develop, and cool, guys, we have now pushed it into develop. So that was it for this one, you guys. And as usual, this has also been a very long video. I hope you guys aren't getting bored. In the next video, we are going to finally start working on our family tree. And with that, I leave you guys for this video. If you like the video, do press the like button, and press on if you want more content from me, press the subscribe button as well. This is Python test driven development, and see you guys in the next video.